Hello, hello, and welcome to the Fairy Coach Tarot channel. My name is Raquel. Thank you for being here. And today is Sunday, and Sundays we have the weekly tarot, in which we look at the guidance advice for our week. So we look at the beginning of the week, the middle of the week, and the end of the week. And this week, goes from Monday the 11th of May till Sunday, May 17th. All right. So, besides looking at the week, we keep in mind what is the phase of the moon, right? So for this week, we have a waning moon, and on the weekend on Saturday, yes, if I remember correctly, we have the dark moon, right? And then from the dark moon on, it's when it begins that new moon energy into the first quarter. But we have the last quarter, so the moon's waning. Most of the week towards that dark moon on the weekend. All right, so it is an interactive tarot. As you know, I try my best, so even though this is a video that you can be involved, so you will pick a deck or a fairy that resonates with you intuitively, and then we will look at the beginning, middle, and end of the week for you. What is the guidance from Spirit, and what the energy forecast more or less tells us that there is a momentum for. All right, so let's get started. Oops, I'm sorry, I moved the camera a bit. All right, so roll those shoulders back. All right, move your neck gently from side to side, relax your jaw, and let's connect ground and center through the breath. Let's take that deep breath together. Inhale through the nose. Hold for a couple of seconds and gently release. Exhale, making that exhale longer, releasing all tension and stress at this time. All right, and now choose the fairy. We have the pink fairy with this yellow deck, the blue fairy, this is the back of the deck, or the yellow fairy, and here you have the back of the deck too. All right, are you ready to choose? All right, let's get started with the pink fairy. And we begin by setting the intention, right? Telling the deck, the cards, what it is that we want from them at this time. We would like guidance for our week, the beginning of the week, the middle of the week, and the end of the week. Knowing that the moon is waning for this week, uh, going into that dark moon on Saturday. And we ask in love and light for our highest good. And so it is. All right, let's begin with the beginning of the week. All right, one. Now the middle of the week. Maybe they want to come out fully. All right. Oh, we got two. So we honor how many they come, right? I always try to honor how many want to come out. Now let's look at the end of the week when we have that dark moon. All right. All right, let's begin with the beginning of our week, right? And I say usually Monday, Tuesday energy. And this is the Six of Coins, right? Or the Six of Pentacles in traditional tarot. And it is a minor arcana, right? So, what does this card advise us, or what's the guidance, right, for the beginning of our week? So, the beginning of our week is a lot about balance, and balance in the sense of what we give and what comes back to us. So in our relationships, with our energy, right? So it is about seeking reciprocity, but also making sure that we invest our energy wisely. So, for example, in your personal relationships, the whenever this card comes, even though it's the earth element because it's coins or pentacles, um, the card itself is about trying to find balance in the different areas in our physical life, in this earthly life, right? So this includes, in this case, relationships as well. So do your relationships feel balanced? Is there reciprocity? Are you giving more than you're receiving to somebody? Or do you do you have any friendships, any types of relationships where you see the effort somebody else is putting towards you, but you are not giving the same, right? So this card is making you examine the reciprocity in your relationships. Also, how balanced are you with your energy in the different aspects of your life. So, some questions here for you to reflect on at the beginning of this week. Are you being generous in your relationships, or is somebody else giving more than you are? Right? And also, are you overextending yourself in some relationships while the other person is not even meeting you halfway? So this is some thoughts to reflect on, some questions to reflect on, and also energy wise, right? Are you putting enough effort in your work or in those projects that you want to come to life? Right? Do you feel that the different important aspects of your life are being balanced? So these are important questions to look and examine because the spirit of this card is advising you for balance in all areas. And it's saying only you can answer if you feel that there is a good balance around your life, around your relationships, in your work. So, this is what this card is making you examine. So, the questions I gave you to reflect on, you can reflect on them by with contemplation, meditation, or also with journaling. I always say that journaling is a wonderful exercise, and for those of you who do not enjoy the writing process, even I have found that even creating lists, just bullet lists, just like when you answer the question, am I being balanced? Or what are the important aspects of my life? My home, my work, my family, my relationship, whatever it is it balanced? So just doing that type of exercise. It's not that when you journal, you have to write full paragraphs. You can write bullet lists and just, it's making you reflect. It's going to make you use your brain and your senses to reflect on if there is balance in your life. All right. Now, let's look at the middle of the week, right? And we have the Three of Coins and the Ace of Coins. Wow, wow, wow. You got a lot of coins or pentacles, they are called in traditional tarot. That's the earth element. So that is letting us know that there is something important in the earthly things, in the physical things in your life that this week we need to examine. Remember that we have the last quarter of the moon energy as the moon is waning throughout this week. So here, I forgot to say, but here, when at the beginning of the week, when you're examining if your relationships are balanced, if your work is balanced, if there is anything that's out of balance, if you come to the conclusion that something is out of balance, but that maybe it could be a relationship, or it could be something to do that is not meeting you halfway, right? That you're using a lot of your energy towards that person or that thing, and it's just not working. Because it is that waning moon, this is a good time to release it, right? To let it go of your life, to change something in the release of letting go, so you can conserve your energy for what's important. Now let's look at the middle of the week. Wednesday, Thursday energy. And we have that the cards that answered our call are the three of coins and the ace of coins. All right. So the three of coins, three of pentacles, is the main card. The ace is supporting this one. So what is the three of coins telling us? It is asking for cooperation at this time, right? So what aspects of your life are you struggling with, or what it is that you're trying to grow in your life, right? And this card is saying, what cooperation do you have around you? Who can you reach out for help? Who can be there to support you, right? This card is saying that there may be something in your life that you may are trying to grow, or that there may be a little bit of a challenge with, and going at it alone is not the the way. This card is asking for cooperation. So there is a momentum for growth in something, something that you want, something that is tangible. Remember, we're looking at the earth element here with coins. Something that you're either manifesting, working on, trying to grow into your life. If there is that momentum, but this card suggests cooperation. So look around you and see who is there that can support you at this time, right? Who could be a good support, or where can you delegate, right? Who can help you, right? So maybe it's not, if you are a person that, let's say an example, you have children, right, and you're trying to grow a project, or you have extra work. um, Perhaps it's not about finding cooperation with that project, but let's say you have to delegate. So maybe perhaps you have to hire someone to help you with your children, or get help from a friend with getting groceries. It is about remembering that sometimes trying to do it all on your own can create extra stress, can increase your cortisol levels, and can make life a little bit harder for you. All right. And the Ace of Coins, this card of opportunity, right? That is coming. Opportunity for things that, again, is the earth element that we really want. So, what is this card? How is this card supporting this one? And it is just saying, by doing this, by trying to find this cooperation, by delegating, doing whatever it is that you need to do right now to help you be less stressed and focus on whatever it is that you're manifesting, growing, bringing into life, right? You are creating even more opportunity. It's going to take you to the next level, right? By finding ways to delegate, by finding help, people to that will cooperate with you instead of trying to go at it alone. So it says a new opportunity will come out from that. So there will be even more momentum for you. Now, how is this that phase of the moon relating to this? Remember, we are in the moon that's waning, that energy that's waning, right? So the most important, because here it says that for you there is something that you're growing. So for you in this type, that the to use that moon energy that is waning, it is like I mentioned in this card, it is about release, right? So if you've been trying to go at something all on your own, if you're putting extra effort, right, releasing those more negative or unhealthy things that can be going on with that. So, stress, tension, release like that shame or that feeling that you should not reach out to somebody, release fear, right? So release all these things that are dragging down your energy so you can vibrate higher. Now let's look at the end of the week for you. So the weekend. And here we are already entering, around here is where we're entering that dark moon, right? On Saturday, we have that dark moon energy. I try to always explain that there is a difference between the dark moon and the new moon. I know nowadays everybody talks about the new moon, not the dark moon. They see the dark moon as if it was a new moon, but it's very different. So let me just explain that. The dark moon is the day and the moment when the moon, when there is no light from the moon, right? So it's a, let's say at 0%. And that's when it's a quiet moment. It's an introspective moment. That's when it is advised to ground, not to do any rituals, not to do anything, but ground, connect with ourselves, right? It's like there is no energy of the moon, there is zero illumination in that sense because it's the dark moon day, right? Then after that, that lasts very little. I usually consider it the dark moon day. Then we start what's called the new moon. So the new moon would be when you already start seeing a bit of the moon. There is some little bit of illumination, and the new moon energy lasts from the dark moon into that first quarter, and the first quarter is already like the moon is growing into the full moon. So we have a dark moon on Saturday. So Saturday is a day for introspection and not doing so much when using that energy of the moon. So for the weekend, that would be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we get the advice from the Empress, right? And the Empress is major arcana. Remember, a couple of knocks when it's major arcana. And the Empress is all about that motherly energy, right? And when I say motherly energy, it is nurturing, it is creative, it is loving, right? Whenever you think of the perfect or the most amazing mother you can think of. Maybe you've been blessed by having such a mother. Maybe it has been a grandmother who has embodied that for you, or maybe you are that type of a mother. Whatever it is, think of that beautiful mother energy, and that's what this card is telling you about your weekend. So it is about nurturing important things in your life. That could be nurturing relationships, anything that's truly, truly important. This weekend is about nurturing all of that. It could be, as I mentioned, relationships, family, it could be work, it could be mothering yourself, right? If you are overly stressed, if you have a lot on your plate. So remember to give yourself love and care. So maybe it's mothering yourself, maybe it is taking care of maybe your backyard, if you have plants, if that's what you love, or a project that you're working on, whatever it is. The energy here says it is about extending that motherly energy and also bringing things into creation. So if something is just starting, again, could be a relationship, it could be the beginning of a project, right? It says there is a lot of momentum. Take care of it as if it was a baby, right? And again, on Saturday, because we have that dark moon, also make sure that you ground, that you center within yourself, and that the Empress works very well because it's all about also your self-care, the love you give to yourself. So Saturday, so you can replenish your energy, and then just like the moon, that energy can begin to grow, so you can create the things or attract the things into your life that are aligned with the best things for you. All right. I hope you enjoyed your reading. Please give a thumbs up, subscribe, and share this video. And remember, if you want a private session with me, I offer live sessions that can be done over the phone, video call, or chat if you prefer, as well as pre recorded readings. All right, let's look at the blue fairy right now. Take this out of the way and let's go with the blue fairy for those of you who picked this one. All right, let's set the intention, let the cards know what we want, and add our prayer of protection. All right, please give us advice and guidance for our week, the beginning of our week, the middle of our week, and the end of our week, in love and light for our highest good. All right. Oh, this one seemed more jumpy. Oops. Huh. Two just turned around. Let's just put them back and see, because they just turned around. They were jumpy. Oh, they feel jumpy. Oh. Interesting. All right, middle of the week and end of the week. I feel too wanted to come out. All right, these were jumpy cards today. They were having a life of its own. All right, let's begin with the beginning of the week. So we got the Six of Cups. All right, so it's the energy of a six, a water element in cups, and six, right? And the Six of Cup sometimes is about looking at the past, right? Fond memories of the past, right? And but this card, what is this card telling us intuitively about the beginning of the week, right? And it is saying, what is something that has happened? It could be a couple of days ago, it could be last week, anything from your past right now that you are thinking about. So it is about, you may be thinking about something that is not in the present, that has happened in the past. And this card is saying, all right, this is worth examining, right? Because if something is dancing around your mind, right, or weighing in your heart and bringing any sort of emotions, it is time to examine it, right? So, sixes are usually a card of balance, like before we found with that Six of Pentacles. That was more about balance and generosity to others. But the Six of Cups makes us look into the past, right? Lessons from the past that we may need to bring forth, and examining what emotions, things that are around our mind. So, let me ask you right now, when in the past few days, what has been heavily on your mind, right? Or weighing on your heart? What is it? Has it been a conversation? Has it been a memory of somebody? It's something that you've been thinking a lot about, right? And examine why. Look at the emotions that brings up, because it just means it needs attention. So it could be because it's something that needs to be addressed. Perhaps it is a conversation that you need to have. Perhaps it's closure that you need to do, right? And we'll talk about something to do with closure now that the moon's waning. Or is it something that has left a bitter taste in your mouth? So, something that is right now in your thoughts a lot, weighing in your heart needs to be examined. The emotions that it brings need to be examined. Okay, and we have the waning energy of the moon, as I mentioned. So, if one thing it is that if the emotions that this thing is bringing are negative or bring sadness, something that you find that it's more lower vibration and negative. Remember, you can use that energy of the moon to release at this time because we are in release mode. So when you examine those emotions, that whatever you have in your mind is bringing, remember to use the energy of the moon to release anything that does not belong to you. All right? Because this card is pointing out that if something is dancing in your mind, it is weighing in your heart, it is time to examine the emotions that it brings and tend to them. Because your emotions are messengers in a way. They are letting you know when something is out of balance, when something needs to be addressed. All right? So, and here we have the middle of the week. And the middle of the week, we are changing completely. We're going from cups to pentacles, and that it's that earth element and the Four of Pentacles, right? This image is different. Usually in the Four of Pentacles, we see somebody grabbing those pentacles really tight. And what is this four telling us? Four is the number of foundation, of stability, right? And what is this for letting us know? It is telling us exactly that it is a good time, that's Wednesday and Thursday energy around there, to build a stability or to find certain, what's another word for a stability? Not only a stability, but more of a system around the things that are important or that need to be taken care of. So, for example, the more organized you are during these 2 days, Wednesday and Thursday, the better it will be for you because that's what this four is telling you. It is time to organize, to build a good foundation, to, whatever it is that you have to do, organize yourself, create lists, create schedules, put things in your calendar, right? And take care of those things that are important. At the same time, this card sometimes comes with a little protection message or warning, however you want to call it. So, and that is to remember not to be too rigid, right? So, watch out for being too rigid. Yes, you need to create a good foundation, a structure. That's the word I was looking for before. There needs to be structure and method, right, at this time towards your life. So creating structure, organizing yourself towards those things that you want, but it also wants not to be too rigid. All right. One thing is to have that structure and be organized. The other thing is to be too rigid, and you don't want that. Now let's look at the end of the week. That is Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And remember, on Saturday we have that dark moon. So, who answers our call? And it is the Queen of Wands, that divine feminine energy and the earth element. And supporting the card, we have another Wands, and it is the Ace of Wands, right? All right. So, let's begin with the main card, the Queen of Wands. So, that's another divine feminine energy. If we have the four suits, right, we have the Queen of Wands, the Queen of Cups, the Queen of Swords, and the Queen of Pentacles, right? It's that divine feminine energy. Again, nothing to do with gender, it's just the energy type. All right, on top of those four queens, we have the Empress. Remember before in the last deck, the energy came out and it was telling us about that divine feminine energy. So this is part of that divine feminine energy with wands, that is the fire element. So again, it is asking us for that nurturing, that care and that love to make things grow, to how do you call it, to manage the things in our life with tender and loving care. That's what I wanted to say. But here, it's not a major arcana. Here we have the divine energy with wands. And wands, it is that fire in your belly. It is your passion. It is your intention, right? So imagine a wizard, right, that has a wand, right? And in order to manifest, in order to do things, when you think of those old Disney movies and you see the wand go, so the one, imagine this is wands. So wands are your intention. That is, intention is very, very powerful. It directs your energy, it directs your focus, it creates, it manifests for you, it directs everything. So this Queen of Wands is saying this. During this time, this weekend is about not only nurturing, loving, and tender loving care towards the things that you want, it is to focus and direct your energy, right? The passion that you have towards something, towards someone, is to direct that energy at the same time that you give it tender loving care. And the Ace of Wands is supporting this because it's, again, it is more wands. It is a reminder of the power of intention and how at this time setting intention towards what it is that you want, towards what you want, instead of drifting and saying, oh, I want this or I want this relationship, but drifting and not being focused is what's not working for you. So this is saying power of intention. Set your intention and then use that tender loving care. And here, remember, Saturday we have that dark moon. So the dark moon, as I said, you ground, you center. It's not the time to do anything specifically, but connect with yourself. And this can be very helpful because instead of connecting with yourself and finding that fire in your belly, that is the fire element, and setting that intention, because after that dark moon, already by Sunday and Monday, the new moon energy is there. And that's when this intention will really help you manifest and create and bring into life those things that are important to you right now. All right. So, very quick recap. The beginning of the week is asking you to examine and look and reflect on those things that have been on your mind and see the emotions that they bring. This card is telling you there are some emotions that need to be tended to. The middle of the week is about creating a structure, right? And a good, stable foundation to be organized, but not to be too rigid. And the end of the week, from Friday to Sunday, is about connecting with yourself, getting a clear understanding of what your intention is moving on towards next week and towards that new moon energy, and also putting tender loving care onto the things you want. All right, I hope you enjoyed your reading. Please give a thumbs up, subscribe, and share this video. And again, this is a general collective reading, so if you want us to look at your particular situation, please reach out. I love answering questions about my work, my approach to the tarot, so just reach out. All right, let's go with the yellow fairy for those of you who picked this one. Okay, so let's see. All right, let's set the intention and tell the cards what it is that we want. We would like guidance, messages for our week, the beginning of the week, the middle of the week, and the end of the week, in love and light for our highest good. All right. All right, we have the first card. card. And and we have two cards for the last message. All right, let's look at what is the beginning of the week. Who answers our call? It is the spirit of the Queen of Pentacles. We have this beautiful Queen, earth element, feminine energy, generous, and just a loving queen. You know, when I see her, I always think of somebody who's very generous with everything they own, and they like to splurge on themselves as well, right? So what is this queen message? What's the queen's message for you for the beginning of the week? So it is telling you that it is be generous. Be generous with the material things that you have, but also with your time. So it's all about generosity and knowing that, remembering more than knowing is remembering that in giving we receive, right? So this queen is saying, be generous with what you have to offer to others. That's a way to create more abundance and blessings for you. All right. And this queen is also asking you to examine what is truly important to you right now, right? And not only about putting effort to that, but remembering that tending to it, right? Tending, as again, like I said before with the other queen, tending with loving care and also with your resources, right? So putting not only your energy, your effort, but just what resources. Maybe it's about investing into something, putting resources into it. So it's making you think about that as well. What is it that you want? What resources do you have? How can you invest your resources into what you want? All right. So this is the queen for you, and this would be Monday and Tuesday, right? Now let's look at the middle of the week, and we have more pentacles. Look at that. Excuse me. So the pentacles, earth element. So bear with me for a moment while I drink a little bit of water. First thing in the morning, my voice fails me sometimes. Thank you. All right, and now we can continue. I was losing my voice. All right. So, pentacles. You have at the beginning of the week pentacles, in the middle of the week pentacles. We got a lot of pentacles also with the other reading that we got. So what this is telling me for the for the collective is that sense that earthly things right now. So things that we can touch, things that are tangible. This week is important because they are coming up a lot in two readings, right? And here for you, you have the beginning of the week of being generous, but examining and reflecting on what you want and what resources you have and how you can invest your resources into the things you want, right? But here, in the middle of the week, and that's Wednesday and Thursday energy, that we have that page. And page is that growing energy. It always comes with that reminder of having a growth mindset for things, right? And it's saying, all right, so here you may have identified what it is that you want, what resources do you have, and here is how can we grow into that, right? Grow our resources, grow into the things that we want. So, for example, right? So, if there is a project that you want, and perhaps the resources that you have is that you already have the education, right? That, let's just say, here I'm putting examples. Let's say that you have the education that qualifies you for a job, for a project, right? But the Page of Pentacles is saying, okay, what other resource can I attain? right? Maybe I need extra training. Maybe I need to listen to a podcast, to read a book, to, what can I do to keep growing? Now, if this is not a job or a project, if this is that what you really want right now, it is to buy something. It could be to buy something big like a house, or to or something other material that it is that you're trying to obtain, right? What resources do you have for that? And the middle of the week is, how can I get more resources? What can I do? So, is it about investing your money? Is it about asking somebody for help? Is it about studying? Is it about training, right? So think of the pentacles as resources. So the queen is asking you, what is it that you want that you can tend to with that loving care? And what resources do you have that can be invested, that can help you obtain what you want? Right? And the page is saying, how can I grow my resources at this time? What resources can I obtain? So, putting it with this queen, what else can I do, right, resources wise, that can help me towards what I want? All right, now let's look at the weekend. And remember, Saturday is that dark moon energy, right? So, we got a major arcana, double knock, but here we move already into wands, right? We have the energy of the three wands, the fire element, right? And I remember that once is that fire in your belly, your passion, your intention, right? And the three is growing onto that. So here during the weekend is identify what it is that you're growing. So if you've already know what it is that you want, and the queen is asking you to tend to that lovingly, to see what resources you already have, and the middle of the week is asking you, there is a momentum to grow your resources, but you need to identify what it is that you need more of. Is it more knowledge? Is it more education? Is it more money? Is it more time? So even time. So when we talk about resources, think of it this way: pentacles, even though it's a coin, it's money, that's not it. Resources can be many different things, can be knowledge, can be time, can be help. So think about it that way. What resources do you need at this time? This is what this card is making you reflect on. And for the weekend is, once you've identified all of this, is grab your one, grab that intention now and focus it on growth. There is a momentum for growth. Number three is the number not only of creation, but of growth. It's like, okay, we've identified what we want. Now there is an energy forecast. There is an energy around for growing towards what we want. Just like here, we were growing our resources of moving forward towards this. It's so this dark moon will help you in a great way, because as I mentioned before, it is a time to ground, center, and gather your strength and your intention towards the new moon energy that will come after Saturday towards the next week. So again, grab your one, grab your intention, and be very focused during this weekend, right? Be very focused on what it is that you want. There is a big momentum for that. And then we have the judgment card, that it is supporting that three of wands. And judgment it has a little double meaning. One, it's that it's you're being called to something. So there is a purpose for you, and it's also reminding you that all the past lessons and things you've been through is taking you towards this purpose. So when this card is supporting the three of wands, is telling you this thing that you really want, these resources that you're growing, this intention and this momentum that is setting forward, it's because there is a greater purpose for you. There is a reason why you love what you love, because what you love loves you back. So there is a call when we have this passion towards something. It is because it comes from above. There is a reason that this thing is calling you. So it's whatever it is that is, in your heart, that you can feel in the belly, that passion, that, oh, I really, really, this would make me happy, or this is what I really want, or this, you feel it with that passion, and there is a momentum, right? There is a calling for that. And you need to pay attention to what it is and this momentum that is created here, right? So you can keep growing as the new moon energy increases. But the beginning of the week is all about looking at the resources you have, to tend to your resources and to make sure that you are aligning your resources, the help that you need in order to move forward. All right, I hope you enjoyed your reading. Please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, share this video. You're helping not only a small channel grow, but also there is somebody who may benefit from one of these messages that you can think of on, and getting these messages out there. Remember, these are, as I mentioned before, these are general collective readings, as much as we make it interactive, but they are still general readings. So take what resonates and reach out if you want information on how I can walk with you, assist you, and accompany you for what you're going through right now. Tarot readings and coaching sessions are excellent for when you're going through a life transition, through a big change, or you feel stuck. So either something has shaken the ground where you are or you stand on, something has really changed around your life. It's a big life transition and you need accompaniment. I am a board certified coach. I have been a tarot reader for many years, for over 30 years reading tarot. And I hold a master's in psychology, and I'm a board holistic practitioner specializing in energy healing. So with all of this, I can help you in your path. All right. So by having explained like my different qualifications, I hope you get in touch. Remember, I love answering questions, so you can go to my website, my Gumroad storefront, or just send me a DM and we will chat, or just give me a call. The number and the email are on my website. You have a fantastic week and brightest blessings.